Welcome to the third episode of the Efficient Raids podcast. Okay.
I don't feel very efficient today.
Yeah, not particularly. You know what? Not enough Folgers yet. I'm still
It's
waiting.
it's time it's time to talk about inefficient rates.
Yes.
Are there
It's
that
probably
many
the
this
same.
time? Are there that many?
Not really.
I mean, I think it's pretty okay. I mean, actually, no, actually, you're kind of right. There's like legitimately zero good rates right now, except for the Ezo. That
I
was
mean,
like the
all of
only
the.
efficient
That's
rate.
true. Yeah,
I
do you
mean,
guys want to talk about
technically,
new
all the
cards?
LBAFs are really good rates, right?
Yeah,
Two for
I think.
fives.
Yeah, I think we are going to talk about the OP17 meta a
There's
little bit here. With the card reveals, we get a lot of
how
card
many
reveals since
card
last
reveals
time.
has there been since last time? Yeah, that's what I was
Because
gonna
last
say.
time we ended
What?
off, I think, on the
Bonk punch?
Inarashi. No. And Bonk. Yeah, Inarashi Nekomamushi. That was the last one we
I
had.
think so. I don't know if we
So
talked about that card though.
I think we had like a small thing in there that we talked about, but
I
Oh, wait,
mean,
this means I guess
it's
we're talking
not
about
even that important though. To be fair, I mean, what does this do? It was,
TLDR. It's pretty good. It's searchable. It's playable. If we do get a searcher,
Mhm.
it's pretty good. I don't know.
yeah.
You're playing it probably at least two.
But the
That's
one that
just the way it is.
we kind of whiffed on though, or we didn't actually see yet, was the Black Maria. That was the one right after we
Yes.
we finished basically, which
I have choice words about this card. I read it and I was like, wow, this is actually hilarious. This is just like saying, yeah, you can counter, by the way. But it reads so incredibly weak, but the deck actually needs it like badly.
Yeah, I played against it a couple times now, and it's definitely a bad card, but like it got my opponent good value almost every time.
Mhm.
I've been playing Red Newgate, and one of the key features of Red Newgate is you don't have any way to kill these small chump guys currently, like every other deck in the format. So I am actually engaging with this card at its full potential, pretty much, and it seems very playable when it actually does something and it doesn't just die
Mhm.
immediately.
It's a once per turn thing or no? The counter.
That's right.
yeah, it is.
I guess otherwise it would just be the 10 cost effect.
Yeah, I mean it's decent. Like I think it's fine enough. You definitely could play it in a late game position, like if you need like extra block utility. But just being able to say early game, hey, I don't need this much top end, and Kaido I think is going to be a bit more of a problem just overall. You run so much top end in bricks. You just run bricks galore in that deck right now.
Here's what I will say,
That's
like
true.
I don't think, and I've thought about this like heavily, like laid awake at night in bed, just like God, do I play
Okay.
lead performers? And I think the answer is no. I'm not going to be playing lead performers. Maybe just the king, the blocker once per turn trash card, get 2k on a guy.
It's pretty much the
Hey,
same
buddy,
effect as
we'll get to lead
the Black Maria.
performers. We'll get to lead
Oh,
performers.
we're getting
I
there.
have a bone to pick with you.
You a bone?
A bone, yeah, a little bit. Oh my goodness.
All right.
But the Black Marine, I think is just decent. I think you're playing it for now. If it, I don't know, if you get more stuff later on, and this is just not a card that this is the first card I see going out of the deck, if anything else. But
Yeah.
it's all right. It's fine. Now, if we're talking about broken cards, though, legitimately the most broken card I've ever seen in my entire life. Have y'all ever heard about Charlotte Shippen?
I was waiting for you to say that. Oh my god. It's better Red Rock. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's wait 5 down and it has counter. Wait, hold on. I think this card would be like, and I don't know why they decided that this card didn't need this, but like I feel like if this had a trigger on itself, like I'm not saying it would be playable, but like I'm shocked that they didn't put a trigger
Well,
on this card.
the biggest
I feel like
problem with that, though, no, there's one big issue with that, right? So if this card had trigger on it, Shippen could bounce itself.
I know.
Or it could, sorry, it could bounce
Wait,
the
what?
opponent's Chiffin. By the way, I had this whole thing in my head like, oh wait, can Chiffin bounce your own triggers back to hand? No, it's opponents. You can't even bounce
Wait,
your own shit back to hand. You can't even do that. Like,
Oh.
if you
That
wanted
would
to loot
actually
stuff,
be no. Imagine
It'd
if
be
it
bad.
could bounce the 3-cost pudding. That would actually be pretty funny. It'd
Yeah.
be terrible, but it'd be funny.
yeah, I know it's still pretty bad, but
Somehow finding the only way to make that Charlotte pudding card neutral.
Yeah. That card is absurd. Oh my god.
We'll get to it. We'll get to
look,
it. So
I want to say
great
that the
reviews.
Chiffon is just so bad. Every single thing they put on this card felt like they just gave one intern at the side of the room who was like he's outside. He's not allowed in like the creation room of like the he's not allowed in the
Mhm.
creation room of this of One Piece card game design makers or philosophies. And it's like just give him one.
Yeah.
It's like that one bit where it's like we'll put it on the fridge, you know. We'll put
Yeah.
Chiffon on the
Well,
fridge.
to be fair though, it looks like Linlin doesn't need it. Doesn't need
No, thank
much
god.
more. Truthfully.
Here's what I
Well,
will say about the Chiffon, which or Chiffon, whatever, it that I think is hilarious, is like it's just like, oh yeah, make it bad. Oh yeah, make it worse. And now give it 0 power. It's like they really just went to every possible step to make it
You
completely
know,
unplayable.
if this okay, hear me out, fellas. If this was a 4K that said trigger play this card, like just really
They would
synergize
play
with the 10 cost, like get it going somehow, would you
Mhm.
play this card?
I think so.
It would depend on,
That would
like,
be
what
funny. It would
else
be
there
bad.
was.
It would be
No, it
terrible, but
depends
it would
how
be
much there
funny,
is
right?
here, right? Because like, it just means that, like,
Yeah.
it's in a yellow mirror match.
Yeah.
Sometimes this would actually give you weird value in a way, right?
That's good.
Which I think
We
would be
want
kind of
that.
fun. I mean, but the problem is, though, like, this is, like, a really bad just card in general, in the fact that,
Mhm.
like, if there are better support cards that come eventually for this deck, then it wouldn't have mattered anyways, but until then, this is still bad. This is just bad. There's no point to play it, even
Better
if the rest
support.
of the rates that come out are kind of middling, right? You know, it doesn't matter. It's just not playable. Uh,
Better
you're
support rules
only
come out.
you're only bouncing the smallest selection of top end that is still bad if you bounce it. Like, you're not in a good spot if you bounce those cards too, right? I think the Chiffon just doesn't have anything going
I
for
mean,
it. There's
a lot of
zero
the
reason to play this.
yeah, because like, a lot of the yellow top end, it's like if you bounce it, it ends up being worse for you overall because they just get the completely busted on play again.
Yeah, 9 cost boa, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking 9 cost, but I'm thinking, I mean, you'd never bounce Bonnie because that's just foolish. But
Is
like,
it?
I mean, yeah, it has rush.
Sometimes
I
you
think
have
you're
to,
at
man.
0. If you're at 0, it
Sometimes you
doesn't.
have to play your chip in.
You have to play out your chip into board. So then
You
it's, I
have
guess
to
you
do
have
it.
to.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm at this point where I think this might be the worst comment that they've ever put in the game. Maybe
So
You're
I would
it's
competing
have to
with
close.
say,
Conjuro. Competing
I
with
think
Conjuro.
Denjiro is it
Yeah,
Conjuro the from the early set that like
the
shows your
L1.
opponent thing. Yeah,
Yeah, on
What a
KO.
goat.
On
yeah,
KO, opponent looks at your hand, you discard one. Banger,
yeah.
by
We
the
just
way.
had
Absolute
we just had
banger.
a battle of like who can be the most niche, who can name the one card from that one
Yeah.
set.
I will say though, if we're talking about the the pudding cards, we can talk about the pudding. I think it's probably a good time to
So
talk
good.
about it because
You guys just want to talk about Linlin for a sec? This is like a segment to a Linlin
Yeah, sure.
section.
I don't mind a
yeah, we'll
Lindley.
take it. Yeah,
So I've had I don't know about you guys, but I've had the pleasure of playtesting this 3 cost pudding, and it's like it's like beyond silly. I mean, I don't know if the deck has any ideas of stuff it wants to do on like 5, 7, 8, 9, 6 even. Like I know there's like, you're still probably looking at cards like Borsalino, but you're not always playing those to boards early, especially when you have like 8 life, which is what often happens when you're playing this deck. And this card, like because of the 10 cost Big Mom effect turning these into 8Ks, you're super happy just playing this card and then passing the turn for 3 Dawn, like attacking with the rest of your Dawn on 8 Dawn. You play 1 3 cost and then you pass. And I know this is not going to work into every deck and strategy just because they are low cost, low power. I played a game where because of the dig you get from this, you find all 4 of them, and I drew 12 cards that game. It's when you resolve it's on play for the first time, you genuinely shit bricks. It's like how the hell is this allowed? You put 3 cards into your hand. It's like, dude, I just played Fisher Tiger, but with no restrictions, and it's taller, and it has a trigger.
obligatory Jinbei mention. That's the
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Every
that's what we're
time.
looking at right now. Yeah, I
Well, no,
have
I'm
to
just
at least
thinking
in
about
some
draw
video.
3. I'm just thinking about draw 3. Because I
Yeah,
don't
I
think they get
mean,
to use it very
it's on the
often.
same. Obviously, like this is still just a technical draw too, if you want to like look at it that way. But you know
Yeah.
what though, the one card we can kind of relate this to more than any other one would be the Vivi, right? Vivi is like this other rate, but somehow worse, like just a lot worse. That card was like less playable. Like, it did see a lot of play in like Zanji when that was a huge deck, but
Mhm.
that's the comparison we have right now. Is that was the last time we had like a kind of technical draw 3. This is better than a draw. Sorry, this is better
It
than a
is,
draw
yeah.
2. Draw 3 with a discard is much better.
It is. You see
By
more
Because
head than you do trash stuff, like if you need
like
to set up stuff in any way.
what often happens with this trash is you're discarding, like you'll have like 3 or 4 of the Marshall D Teach and Gecko Morias, like the 8 costs in your hand. You just pick one, you throw it away, you draw 3
don't
cards that are
care.
hopefully the 10 cost mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what the game plan looks like.
You want as many like big mom as possible in this for sure, 100%. You just want to like spam that card back to back to back in this deck because man, giving these 8,000 powers, like again, the pudding is turns into an AK body on like a
Yeah,
late game push. You get to just like swing out your entire board and you get to exist. Like you get to have so much aggro on that turn, on your 10 Dawn turn. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a deck that can actually like stand up to that like well, and I don't think there's many that could do that.
And I feel like I talk down about small costed, small power characters because they often get removed, especially in this format. But it's worth noting that 3 and 4 are conveniently outside of the range of pretty much every removal that's been printed. Everything that cares about
Yeah.
cost is often 2 cost. The efficient ones are often 2 cost these days. And the biggest like popper that you're seeing that's going to kill small guys is El Thor at 3. Not saying NL doesn't have access to power reduction here, but like would they really spend 2 cards on this pudding? Like you're winning that rate
Mhm.
that interaction by quite a lot. Even if
I
they
will
do,
say I
you're
do
not
think
winning, but you're in a fine spot if they spend 2 of their cards killing your 4K.
I think Anel is also really struggling into Linlen just as a whole. Having cards ripped out of Anel's hand just basically brutalizes him to the point, and it's like so Anel has to let Linlen heal up to 8, and then at the same time, Anel's swings usually look like one that's like a 14 and one that's like a 6.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
I
you
want
know,
to say I think the game plan for for my idea has changed, or from my perspective a little bit.
yeah,
It's you honestly never really discard, or your opponent almost
that's
never
been my
wants to choose
experience.
a discard ever.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
almost
that's
always
been my
telling them to
experience.
gain life because it's random. The low card in hand thing that has been going on just doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen. Again, this being random, I don't know why they give it random discard.
Yeah,
It
both
made it
options are so good because it's random. Like both options seem very good, and so my one of the funniest parts about
incredibly
playing this
busted.
deck is that like you don't really have to think about what you're doing whatsoever. You almost always want a leader effect. I think there's very little exception to this, especially with the new pudding giving you much better card economy. You almost always want to just leader effect brainlessly, and then your opponent has to do like super difficult like it's very difficult to actually choose the correct one every time. And I think for a large portion of the game it's almost always better to just let her heal. It is very very difficult to select the best option. The Linland player is doing basically nothing, and then it's very difficult for you to make the correct play every time
I
because
will say
it's never clear cut.
there is one thing with the pudding that just well, I played this deck obviously on sim a little bit just to try it out before the pudding is added onto the sim at all.
Yep.
And in that deck, it does kind of turn around to being you do lose a lot of card advantage for sure. Like you are down on
Yeah.
cards pretty
Yeah.
consistently if you're activating leader effect every turn, right? You're gonna be kind of down to like 4, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe I don't swing or like activate the effect of the swing,
Yeah.
for the leader. And in those scenarios, pudding would have just solved that instantly, right? Because it just means that every turn you're allowed to do this again and again and again, and you're gaining life after life after life. And there's not really a point not to gain life at that point, right? Unless you just want like a huge hand, but you don't usually care, right? You're getting
Yeah.
like the best life gain in the game, and the best rate by far, by the way. I mean, obviously, the only one we have to go off of for leader life gain is the Gecko Moria, and Gecko Moria is a
Mhm.
controlled -3, where this one is a not controlled -2. But most times you're going to know that you're going to gain life because if you get the random discard, you're up basically. You're somehow like it's hey, I'll discard a card that I choose for my opponent to occasionally just lose the game because they lose like an insane piece,
Yeah.
any kind of piece, which has happened enough times in the playtesting of
Yeah.
this.
We played a couple matches where I was going for lethal, and I was like, okay, this time I'm going to select random discard. Like I brought you down from like 11 life. The board is really stally. I bring you down. I go, okay, I'm going for lethal. I'm gonna discard a card. Like he's got all these Borsalinos. I'm at 0 life. I need my Roger. I have like 5 or 6 cards in my hand. Pick discard Roger. Lose the game.
Yeah,
You can't win. It's so difficult because if I choose to gain you the life there, I'm no longer capable of winning in a lot of these situations.
yeah.
If I choose the discard and it randomly discards one of the cards that I need to go for lethal, I also just lose the game. And there's very little player agency there. It's basically just you're rolling a dice here.
Yeah, the problem is that there was no way of making the discard on this leader be fair. Instead of like I think if it was like a discard, like a choose discard, I don't think it was gonna be good enough,
It would be
maybe.
too weak because I think it'd be too easy
Yeah,
to just pick discard every time and just go hand neutral with the Linland player.
But like I mean, would that have made the game bad though? I don't know. It just means you never really gain the life like often, right? That's like the
Yeah.
one issue with it. Or if you're playing a more style game, maybe you still want them to gain the life because you don't care. Like if you're going for like a really game plan and you're just like trying to pop the board as it comes down every time, then you're probably
Yeah.
still winning off that, right? You're winning off that interaction like every
One of
time.
the first things that I've been thinking about in terms of counterplay in this deck is like you almost I almost always select to let them gain a life on the at least the first attack. And I think about it like this mostly is you think about Egghead Luffy as a 6 life leader. Like you can just allow the Linlen player to be a 6 life leader while also going card -2.
Hmm.
Right? It's kind of like putting them in like and Egghead Luffy is not like a dominant deck or anything, but like I think you can allow it to be that way, and then decide going forward whether or not you want to discard or whatever. And I think what goes a long way here is if your deck is able to generate card advantage, you're allowed to choose the discard. But as of right now, that does not exist equally and fairly in all colors. So you don't really like some colors don't have a choice. Like I've been playing mostly red for the past few
Yeah,
sets,
I mean, it's
and when
just
I
in
have
a
5 cards in
spot.
hand the entire game, I'm not allowed to choose random discard because the odds of it, it's not even about the card and going down in the card. It's the odds of it choosing the card that I need is like so often because you often need like more than one card, right? It's not just one card in
Mhm.
your hand that's good. So like you're talking like 50-50 flip on whether or not it discards a card that you need to play. And then at best for you, it discards one of your 2Ks, and then you find yourself low on counter. So it's very difficult to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Red does have some good gameplay options into trigger spam, which is becoming 7K and 8K leader are very good into trigger 5K bodies.
Yeah, I mean, for the Bark engine not really do much in that matchup. I will say
Yeah,
that one was pretty bad when I got like a trigger off of
yeah.
it. It was like my board was
But
full and you're an AK. Didn't actually matter that much.
yeah, but
So
obviously what happens there is you just, you gain your life, you play out your turn, you don't attack with your bodies. I don't have a consistent enough way of searching 10 cost beard. So I end up just not having enough of it to win. I just run out of it, and once I run out of it, I die. Like instantly.
now the one thing with I
Five
think
5Ks is enough.
with Linland though that I think I've learned at least when playing it a little bit more was you would never want to discard if you are going to lose your curve, right? Obviously,
Yeah,
if you're going to lose
yeah.
curve, there's not really a point to doing it. So what tends to happen, at least when I feel like I'm trying it out, or that I've gained from this, is just you just want to play on your curve every single time, and then in the late game, if you are like just spamming, you're probably going to win the game. Like there's like, if you can play it again,
Mhm.
putting on 3, then Nami on 5, and then you get like again, we have a new 7 cost that you can play as well to gain a life and discard a card.
Seems not bad.
I think it seems pretty decent, but and then late game, if you're allowed to go on 9, just play whatever you want to, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, like every other time in the game, right? I don't think it matters. Like the extra cards in your hand don't matter, right? At least not too much. I don't think they actually matter at all.
Oh
You don't
yeah,
need to have them because you're playing
The
yellow,
Linlen
right?
player lives like the Linlen like player strives on 2 cards in hand.
Also, your leader's not swinging. Like your opponent's not swinging half the time, right? If your opponent is trying to like swing, you're getting the extra value off your triggers. So the best way to play against this deck right now is going to be don't swing, right? If you're not going to
Yeah.
handle it, right? You're not playing aggro. You're not playing whatever. Don't swing.
The way to win, it seems like, is you just kind of want to build up your board. You're gonna whittle her hand size down with the leader effect, and then when your board becomes like 5 8Ks plus, you basically start racing as fast as you can. Take 5 life from her on one turn, pass the turn. She's gonna do what she can. At bonus points if you leave her at 3 life so that she can't Borsalino you.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
then you just take another 5 life and you win. That's like the game plan for you. But not a lot of decks can do that because there's not a lot of decks that can build up board states like that are defensive enough to stall out her trigger bodies.
Yeah, but even though like here's the one thing too, it's like Linlen in the late game can just put you to 0, and with the new board pressure that they've
Yeah,
gotten from that, you're gonna be at 0 half the time anyways, and it's like, can you? You're not just on like a I'm allowed to just stay in this position the entire rest of the game. You are on a clock. If you're against yellow, the burn that Linlen gets you right
yeah,
is heavy. It's a heavy cost. And all of the 3 costs being that high in power on your turn as a Linlen player means that you're going to be eating like 8k swings, which there is very little that you can, if you're playing a different deck, there's like, unless you're playing Roger, is what I'm saying, sorry, that you are stuck, that you're going to eat
Honestly,
swings that like you need to counter for, that you are going to be needing some kind of answer to eventually, right? There's not enough like high powered jits that exist in the game yet to make your leader like a 10k or something that would stop this from happening or be a problem.
Wasn't there a card recently that's like sets your leader's base power to 8 or something? Which one was that?
that's the new gate.
Was
Yeah.
that the Newgate? At least
Yeah.
Newgate has that, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
new
the
gate.
thing is though.
And it's great. It's great. It's very good in that matchup.
Oh, for sure, but I mean, obviously, the base power becoming 8 means that they still swing. It's not like a free. Oh, you know what it used to be though, right? Was if you get a Thriller Bark trigger and the Thriller Bark board exists on the Lillin's board, they can't swing those guys into face. You cannot swing into the red leader who has 8k power. It's just not possible. It's not worth it at all.
yeah,
You
yeah.
wouldn't do it ever. But because all of these small bodies become AKs, it means now I can just turn this sideways for basically very little like for very little
Mhm.
cost. You gain so much from that. You gain
Yeah.
so much from the 10 cost. You gain so much value just from these little small bodies existing on the board and just pinging for face. And imagine like you going like 3 4,000 base power guys who
Mhm.
then become AKs into face. Like I don't want to imagine that world. I don't want to like look at like a Linlen player and like have this be what like loses me the game, you know? I'm not prepared for yellow. I'm not prepared for this set's yellow.
Yeah.
I miss when yellow was bad.
Don't we all?
I no, the thing is I have a huge issue with the idea of yellow being bad. Like I think it's yellow card design right now that is currently ruining the game for yellow. I really think that this deck or this color in general can be cool. I think it can be interesting and meta and fun to play against, but Bandai back to back to back continues to make yellow just the worst card design decisions as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It feels
the
like
pace
they're
of the
just
game is so bad. The pace of the game right now is so terrible in how, oh yeah, yellow needs this to be meta right now, right? Because of power
Here's my
creep.
thing with yellow though, is aside from the fact that Bandai just keeps printing the most insane cards in the color yellow, the way that it works on a fundamental level is different from the other colors. Because like I'm talking like OG One Piece
be
pre
crazy yellow.
OP12 kind of era. Black was cost reduction that only black could do. Red was power reduction. Purple was like dawn manipulation in like a very unique way, and yellow was life cards. But
Sorry,
every deck,
sorry, quick thing.
like
Maybe
every deck,
before 14, 13 didn't have
before
good yellow yet. It was 14 that was like the change. That
it
was
was
the big
14.
yeah, 14 was the big one.
I
That's
mean,
like Porcelain. I think it,
No, no,
13
no.
didn't
That was Thriller Bark
13 had
stuff.
started at Goofy though, right?
Oh yeah, I guess you did Porcelain too, right? But it was more like I think it was more
Mhm.
so about like
sorry,
Thriller
no,
Bark.
14 was not Porcelino. 14 was not Porcelino. That's 15, right?
Well, no,
Am
sorry,
I
wasn't
wrong?
that
Mhm.
for us? It was EV04 and 14, so technically it was, right? Am I wrong on that
No, it
one?
was no
Um,
in 14 it was half of
it was
EBO4.
half of it.
Oh,
The
we
other,
didn't have the rest of it yet. Okay,
I
yeah, yeah.
what
yeah.
yeah, let me just double
But
check
anyway,
that
to
before I
continue,
start
what I was
speaking.
saying is the fact that yellow manipulates a resource that all decks share and can gain more of that resource and have good effects on top of that. It makes it feel like a monolith you have to overcome.
You know
Yeah.
what? I don't think Burn's that big of a deal though. I'm okay with like
Not
life
burn,
gain
it's
if
the
there's
healing. It's
cost.
more of the healing.
I like Burn. I think the biggest issue has come from yellow is just modern trigger is very
So
poorly
efficient.
designed, way too efficient, yeah. And man, just the ability, like the amounts of defensive abilities have been gained from Borsalino. It's mostly Borsalino, I think, right? That I think for
Yeah.
myself has been more of a problem than anything else. And like Gecko Moria triggers, just like stopping you from ever making a lethal push or like trying to go for a game a game swing
Yeah.
has become so arduous and
I think
it's not fun. It's not a fun time.
I think what I hate about Gecko Moria triggers, like Thriller Bark slot in specific, obviously it's like I'm thinking about the Perona here, and I think the Hogback is worth mentioning, but I think traditionally one of the ways that you were going to lose as yellow was like your opponent playing really aggressively, like kind of low to the ground, aggressive, taking all the cards out of your hand, and then just pushing for lethal through your life gain. And the Perona is so good at stopping that it's like you have to play sort of a top heavy game plan that we were describing earlier, where you're just controlling the board, defending yourself while you play 12Ks and then taking all the life in one turn, basically.
Well, Hogback has like the other part of that too, right? Is if you're playing against
Yeah.
if you're playing against a deck that is going for like a, oh, I can stall this out and not really care. So instead of playing the Peroni, you play the Hogback, and Hogback just says, hey, you actually can't kill if you can't kill two guys this turn. There's no point in swinging into the Hogback, right? There's just no
Hogback
point.
also plays it as active.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying more as like if you are looking for like a pop and you can pop the one, it's like, oh no, we don't lose board advantage at all. Actually, you get more advantage off of it, off of the
Yeah,
Hogback
and
being
you can only
triggered.
just get triggers again. You can just keep replaying that one Hogback.
Yep.
Like you don't need like. It's
But
pretty
yeah,
good.
yellow is very good.
It's just
Very
cyclical.
good
It's
right
not
now.
fun. And then the Lindland is looking to be even a bit more so a problem, which it's just all the rates have been efficient. The pudding that existing right now being just a draw, a technical +1, which was not what I expected this to be. I did not expect this card to be a actual +1 on the for Lindland. I expect this to be like a neutral. Like if this was like a trash one trigger draw 2, I would have been happy. I don't know why this shit says draw 3.
Yeah, it's very good. I wonder if red will get something that says draw. Maybe the number be larger than 1 at some point.
No, I think it's in the green treatment. If
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't want to do that for red,
you're so funny.
because right now it's like green's whole identity in the new starter deck has just been every single card that just says on play draw 1, get small advantage, try not to lose advantage like in the game. You know, we can't go minus on cards if you play a card. That's why the Odin's good, right? It's like partially why the Odin's good. It's why again the Yasop has the same thing. The Yasop is just a draw 1,
Yeah.
restand a guy, right? Don't lose cards in hand because you need them. Anyways, maybe we can move on to if y'all are down to talk about a bit of I guess what is it, the new Black Leafy cards? Get the Jinbei and
Oh,
Yeah,
Frankie.
yeah. I was gonna say before we get off of talking new cards, because I don't know. We did miss
We have a
a
lot
few
we
of
missed,
them,
yeah.
but there's been a lot of them since last time because there was a couple big drops. I just want to do before we get to the Black Movie cards. I just want to do a quick side note about the new red Ezo, which is it's good. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Newgate. I think as of right now, it kind of feels like the Newgate deck has the least amount of support because I think there is an idea of playing the 8K package from Red Ace, but it definitely does not feel good when the characters don't have rush. And I'll also add that to the 10 cost Newgate, which when you're playing it for 10 in Red Newgate, which happens more often than you'd think, and it doesn't have rush, it feels it's good, but it feels much weaker than it probably should be.
I'm sure you play it for 6 against like Kaido a lot though, right? Like Kaido and
See, you would think that, but as far as my testing, basically every like decent Kaido player, all they do is they sit at 9 Dawn with the 7 cost Kaido, and they do not play anything like until they literally have to. They don't play, like basically until the first Whitebeard comes out, they don't play a 12K.
that's actually kind of cool. I never thought to play. I never thought to play like that.
Like they basically mid-range you until you run out of options to do anything, and then I mean, and it's like I was really excited when I saw that gameplay. I was like, wow, this deck is actually a little bit more than just a one-note sort of ramping deck because the minus power and the leader is so good for board control. But
True.
it's pretty much what the Ezo does, and I'm excited to get my hands on this card. I don't think it will help in that matchup because the board just never dies for Kaido. But
True.
-6 is so big on a 4 for 6 with
It's huge.
character rush. It is like giant.
I mean, I can imagine this being played against like so many just random bodies of maybe you swing with like a red green leafy or something, you know, and you have a Sanji
Yep.
just on board, like a 5 or 7, right? A 5 or 7 on that board, and you're going to 8 maybe, and maybe it's like not what you want to be doing, but I think even having like an Ezo just go in like, hey, I'm gonna make this a 1, make a 5 cost Sanji a 1, or just like make this kind of or like an L, right? I think into an L, if there's a rested an L on the board,
Mhm.
you're just able to say, hey, I get to get rid of this thing for free, basically, if it's rested,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking. Because tradition, like before, I was like, okay, well maybe Red Newgate has a pretty decent game plan into an L and B Luffy because they want to play their 10Ks early, and then you can spam the 6 cost Newgate. But this is also a very good option for kind of dealing with those board states where if they block or they turn it sideways in some way, you can just kill it pretty much because you're going 6 into 4 to begin. Sorry, the Loki's at 11, right? Is it 11? Or is it 10? It's
Power,
11.
I think it's an 11.
Yeah, so it's 6 into 5 versus Loki for 4 Dawn, and then into NL it's 6 into 4, which is obviously a much better number. But that's for only 4 Dawn.
Also, it deals with efficient blockers too. Like I'm looking at like Rosie and Law, maybe. Obviously, that has like side things as well
Yeah,
that make it a
the
bit
the
better.
threat of
But
this card, the
but
threat
saying
of this card
yeah,
is like you can't just turn your card sideways anymore
if you block
against
early
Newgate.
to try to get like some value, maybe it's just you can sometimes see just the Ezo pop on the board. It's like, oh, now my 8,000 power guy is now a 2,000, and I'm losing this probably,
Yeah.
right?
And it's basically like, they're gonna swing, you're gonna have like an 8K blocker, and you're gonna swing 7s and 6s and 5s, and they're gonna hold all their Dawn up. And then if you don't block and you counter / take all of the hits because you're playing around Ezo, they'll just develop their board as normal. Let's say they have 7 Dawn, they play 7 cost Zoro.
Yeah.
If you decide to turn it sideways, boom, Ezo full swing. Like if you don't have a second blocker, you just Ezo all the Dawn on Ezo, kill the guy.
Hmm.
Often is pretty good. But you can also just do other stuff with it. Like you can just swing 6 and then play something else. Gives a
my
lot of
God.
variety in the sort of play patterns that deck has, and that's a good thing.
It's
I
a
think.
really sick tech card. I like this existing in the deck. I'm not sure if it's a 4 of, but I do think it's good. It feels good enough. The rate on it is just way too good. I feel like not to play in this deck
Yeah.
or just in general, right?
I think if this was older red design, I think this would say discard a card on play.
Oh,
So I'm
probably.
happy to think that they're thinking about red and trying to make it maybe
A
not
little
giving
bit
card
more.
advantage, but maybe make it a little bit more efficient at what it does, because it currently does not do very much efficiently.
This is one of the best red cards, yeah. Like it's just such a good. This is so nice. This is it's just you never really see this kind of stuff before, right? I feel like this is like a new territory for this color in a way. Being -6
Like,
and
a
1,
red card that
obviously.
you see and it's like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, because like I'm looking at like 7 cost Ace when that was out, and that was a huge big deal for red, right? Of just like, oh yeah, you double -3 on something that you know are looking
It's
at.
pretty good.
But this
That's
one,
a pretty good card.
this is meant to say, hey, the cards that like 7 cost Ace could not hit, because like obviously if you go into like a 10K guy, maybe like an NL, you're actually probably not gonna get the NL still off of that, right? Because like you minus 10 to what 7. So you're going 7 to 7, you're never getting that. But like if you go Ezo -6 into like a big body that you want to get rid of, you're happy to do that. Like this is so much better than having to
Yeah, and
than
this card, I
yeah,
think it never
splitting it.
feels bad, regardless of board size, because it can go 6 into 6 on a rested 12K. So this card never feels like and obviously if your opponent does have a 12K, you can play your Newgate for 6, and
Mhm.
then play the Ezo for 4 on the 10 Dawn turn. And then you're basically saying I have 6 into 6 and then 8 into 6. And so it never really feels bad no matter how big the board size is, just because the -6 is so large.
Pretty
This is
efficient.
good. I think that hopefully this is not like the only good white paper card we get. Sometimes you never know with red.
Praying for another super rare.
Yeah, I'm assuming you'll get it. I'm hoping for a bit of white paper, but you never know.
I think if we do get another really good card here, especially if it is like a super rare, it's probably not likely to be an 8K though. I think it's probably going to be way more geared. It's probably going to be Newgate locked for all
Yeah.
I care.
You might get a common instead, maybe.
Red Ace, I think Red Ace has enough with just the 10 cost beard, so that's a very good looking deck these days.
Yeah, you're already up. I mean, Red Ace is already doing a lot better than Newgate is at the moment, which is something I did not expect to happen.
I actually called this a very long time ago,
Yeah.
which is even if they print I said like if they just print a good 10 cost, that's like maybe even did like a defensive sort of 10 cost, you can just give it
Yeah.
rush and it's worth it in Ace.
I just didn't think it'd be this good. Like I didn't think the 10 cost would have been
Oh,
like
yeah.
this broken, and oh my god, is it good? Is it?
I
good?
would not say it's broken in Newgate. I think it's actually just a
Oh,
fun
I mean,
card.
like,
It's pretty good.
but for the rest of the
It's-
time, this is going to exist in red, right? So
Yeah,
it's like any
basically
new red
every
deck that comes
is
out,
thinking about it.
you're almost always going to want to be playing this card. Even like I was thinking about like in Red Law or something, you're probably going to want to play that card anyways. Like even though you're
It's
not
gonna
really
be so
getting
hard to
the
get this card. It's gonna be so
yeah,
hard to get this
probably. Good luck with that, man.
all of them, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
All of the 10 costs, especially the Shanks. Now that's a card that's gonna be
Oh my
impossible
god.
to find.
Because like I can imagine the Kaidos not being like really that great in other decks.
Yeah, Kaidos are
Where
too specific.
well, the 10 cost that pops maybe I can see, but the other one, oh my god, the other one. The blocker Kaido I don't understand. Like in another deck that could maybe be played in. I don't see it.
Okay, time for Black Luffy.
No, I think we can probably just do one more thing, and I really want to talk about the lead performers if we're gonna end it off on
Yeah,
something.
true.
I think we'll do
Me to
one
talk
last
about
card
the
reveal thing,
performers.
and then we'll go off to some greener pastures. So the lead performers are the funniest
gonna
set
be.
of cards that I have seen in my life. To me, they make zero fucking sense. I don't understand these cards.
Hey, at least this is one of our first efficient rate cards.
Oh,
Okay, can
sorry.
I?
This is first 9 for
That's
11 in the game, I think, right? This is the first 9 for
Yeah.
11 purple card we've gotten.
That
Is
can't
the
be
king
true.
is 9 for 11?
No, the
No,
League
the League
Performers.
Performers.
Yeah, sorry. The card you're
Oh.
not going to swing with. Yes, that's the one.
Oh, oh.
I
So
don't
why would they? That
Oh
could
my
be a
god, it
9
is
for
the
0.
first 9 for 11. What? How
No,
is
I was
this the
looking
first 9 for 11?
because I was looking at like purple 9 costs, and I'm like, you only have the Kaido, the Luffy, Big Mom, the Charlotte
Mhm.
Moon with
9
9
for
cost.
9?
They're all like 9 for 9s, 9 for 10s, and other shits. You just don't have 9 for 11. So the first 9 for 11 is a card that you almost are never going to swing with, I think. Maybe you can. Maybe this card is secretly broken, and I just don't understand this from my small little peanut brain. Oh my god, I don't understand this card. I don't get it.
Life gain is good though.
Yeah, it's
That's
fine.
good to start.
Yeah,
Here's what I'll
it's
say about it. A 9 cost card that heals you 1 and is a blocker at the cost of discarding an additional card. It's not bad. But
sorry,
like,
what? You're not discarding a card.
well, because
Well,
you have to
play the
play
card
the
from hand.
second one. You have to
It's from
play
hand.
another one. Like you're -2
What
to
do you
lead
You
like?
play it from
Sorry,
hand.
the activate
Lead
main. Do you
performance into
mean?
king. Lead performer into king is card.
Oh yeah,
-2.
into king it's minus. Yeah, into king it does. But
That
you're not.
combo reads as honestly fine, but the fact of the matter is the deck doesn't need any more cards with cost higher than 5.
Yeah.
I don't think the king is
'Cause-
good. I don't think it's fine. I think it's bad. I think going into king
Yeah.
is king does not look good at all. King looks really
King
shit.
looks like the better of the two, I
This-
think.
it's
Whoa!
weird
Wait, sorry.
card.
Between the queen,
Yeah.
there's no fucking way.
I actually agree.
You
Sorry,
do?
the queen
There's
is
no
The
way.
reason why I
The queen
agree
is
because
so
I
much
think
better.
it's much better on Linland board states.
Yeah. Like the queen is like nice. Like the queen is cool, but like the king actually letting you say, I'm gonna pitch one of my 50 million cards in it and actually have it be a 2K and block and heal is good. The queen actually does not like
Nah, I don't.
the
There's
queen,
no way.
like if you're facing a Linland board, they're about to play the 10 cost to get a bunch of 8K swings. I'd 10 out of 10 times rather have the king on board than I would the queen.
I'm sorry,
And
but
that seems like
the king being
too.
played off the lead performers is just a -1, where the queen again, the queen is neutral. You have banish for your bad matchups, probably into like yellow or something, right? Where it actually I think
I
gives
do
you
like the banish.
occasionally. And having
The
freezing
banish
2/5
is
costs, Kaido is not a leader that will have a good time into like spammy board states, right? Like into green where it's a bunch of 5s. This being a Perona effect on top of like banish, on top of draw a card. I think this gives you so much more value into the matchups that probably you're trying to like really beat that into for Kaido. So I don't know. I don't think the king's ever worth it in any world over like one of the 10 costs instead.
Oh yeah, this deck.
Yeah, that's my main
rarely-
Where I feel
problem
like-
with the lead is
Like-
it's just too much, like too many top end cards. Like
But that's
Yeah.
why
I'm
the
fine
queen, I
if
think,
this
has
never
more
comes
things.
out.
That's why I think the queen, like, having these extra little utility pieces gives it more than the king ever does. Because you never want to play the king. Where I feel like the queen actually gives you extra shit to do on the side that actually gets you different value than the king ever does, where the king is just a worse rate in general.
I
The
guess
king
within
has better
context
rates. The queen is doing things for your deck that, like, the king doesn't actually do. Or doesn't provide you at
yeah,
all.
I mean, within context of the deck, we don't need more blockers. We don't need another top end blocker. We have that, and I'd rather just play that over the king, in my humble opinion. But I mean, I'm waiting for the jack. If the jack, listen, if the jack is good enough, because obviously we're getting a jack.
Yeah, it could even be a
yeah.
rare card because it's got
Could it
common
please
king,
let it be a-
uncommon
Yeah, maybe.
queen.
Wait, hold on, secret rare jack.
No.
Also, this might be a detail you guys may not have noticed. I believe that this is the first card that actually knows that Jack is a fishman. The lead performance is listed as fishman / Animal Kingdom Pirates.
It's weird that that's the case.
Well,
Because
he
they
is a
don't like. Why does this not have Lunarian?
That's true, actually. Yeah, they just said like
Because they
we know,
did
'cause they
bother
gave
to
the
give it to
king.
the king. I don't think they
Yeah, they
always
gave
do that
King
for the king
Lunarian.
cards. They don't always do that for the king cards though. They don't.
They
give
don't.
the-
No, they don't.
But they bothered this time, and then they didn't do it on the other card. It's a little bit
Yeah,
weird.
I don't get it, but
Sorry, 7.
because like
There's only one jack in the game? Wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
no, there's
Sorry.
a bunch.
There's 4. There's 4 jacks.
That's a bunch. That's a bunch. Literally, I'm pretty sure that is a bunch. It's 1 is single, 2 is double, and then
Okay,
like
You're a
okay.
bundle,
goes- it
buddy.
goes
I don't want to
bundle-
hear it. I don't want to hear
bundle
it.
is 3 and then a bunch
Wait,
is
yeah,
4.
you can play the 3-cost 1K starter deck 1 jack.
Let's go. Extra grand battle, here I come.
Lets you re-ramp.
Like, I don't know. I don't see why the king would ever be played. Where I feel like I could see the queen actually having some utility.
Anyway, what I was thinking about the Jack is if I get a Jack, if the Jack is good, I'll play the lead performers and then King Jack, or sorry, Queen Jack.
Yeah. I mean, the one problem with lead performers though is I don't think that you ever really want to be playing. I don't think you care about this for
Really
like the game life because I feel like you just
No,
play want to play 10
no.
cost Linlen
You just play
instead,
the
right?
Benvolent.
Like
Yeah,
Linlen's better. I think most like board states you're gonna just want to say, hey,
it
I get
is.
to play 10 cost instead, and just like you get extra value into like rested big bodies or gain the life as well, and you also get the re-ramp too. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's searchable. You don't have to actually find 2 specific cards.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, lead performers like requires you to have like some extra hand presence where I
Mhm.
don't think you actually have to draw for it yet. That would make it a bit more abundant. That make this a bit more playable. This if King actually or sorry, if Kaido actually got like what is it, an 8 cost or a non-cost event that said play up to 2 character cards with a type including Animal Kingdom Pirates with 9k or 9 cost from hand, that'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it?
Are you saying that this already exists or something? Are you making fun of me?
Sorry, like a 9 cost event that like plays 2 cards that include the Animal Kingdom Pirates type with 9 costs or less that
What
exist.
card are you talking about?
Is
I
is
I don't think it exists. Does it
is
exist?
this a is this sounds very eerily similar to that White Beard
Let's
Pirates
show
card.
them what we're made of. Yeah, maybe.
Dude,
It
this
might have
card
been.
is so bad. I
I
was so
know.
excited for this card. I
Wait,
was
does
like,
it actually
holy,
play
we're
2
still
9 costs
fire.
though or something? What does it play?
No,
still
it plays
fire.
2 8,000 powers. It's much worse.
Oh,
If you know,
Um,
I will say this: if this could play one, it doesn't even have to be 2 new gates, but if this could play 1 new gate, I think this card would be actually very good.
oh, probably. You still -1 though. It's like in red where you're already never drawing cards. So why would you ever play this? Yeah. So funny though.
Yeah,
I love this kind of card design though because I think having just things be a bit more wacky makes certain like deck building options fun, even though it's bad. I feel like if you have a time where like some guy is playing this and just drops a let's show what we're made of, there are times where like this will win you the game. I think it's just too bad you can't actually play this. It's not actually viable.
yeah.
It's so funny.
The one of is calling my name.
You can do it. You are allowed to. And it might get better. You never know. You know, it's maybe there's like a really good like a 10 for 8 new gate that comes out that makes this somewhat more playable. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who never knows. You never know.
Yeah, I just want if they give Kaido like a good 3 cost, like a 3 cost that ramps you a Dawn that's new and inset and a character. I'm fine. Like a 3 for 5 that ramps you a Dawn if your leader's Kaido. Just make that and we're good.
Have you ever actually heard of Benevolent King of the Waves, Will?
Is this tech?
It's 3 for 5 ramp a Dawn. If it
Like,
dies, you get another Dawn.
How do you spell benevolent? Benev. There you go.
No, but
Yeah, it is Benev.
no, it's Benev.
That's literally what I said.
That's not what you said.
You'll,
That is not what you
you'll
said.
watch this back on YouTube and you'll be like, oh wow, that is what he said.
That is not what you said. Anyways, yeah, you can play this.
Yeah, could I
And like
actually
trashing a card from your hand, like I know it's a card from your hand,
Yeah,
but like you have
so
so
who
many things that
cares?
are not helpful that like I feel like you could justify it.
Oh, this is a pretty sick play. Is this the guy from the fan letter movie who's like a big fan of Chopper?
That's right.
Ooh, that's kind of techie. Oh, I might. Matt had to leave. I'm gonna be playing Benevolent King of the Waves and Kaido.
No, you should just like not tell him when he comes back and then play a match when he like play a match of Sim with him. And then play it on the board on
Oh,
3 Dawn.
that would be so
Aggressive rate.
sweet.
First efficient rate that we found.
I feel like I do play it because I think it is searchable with the music events, right?
Music is 4 cost, is it not?
Is it 4 cost or more?
You know, it's been 900 years since I've seen them. It is 4 cost.
I think one of them's called
There it is.
Us.
It's 4 cost.
Us. Is it actually?
It is.
No.
While you're at it, you could also play the Sarfunkel and Gaimon from EBO2.
Hold on. Sarf.
Yeah, go Sarfunkel first.
Sarfunkel? Dude, wrong color, bro. Dude, what is this?
But I remember when these music cards came out. Do you want to talk about music cards? Well, Matt's going
Wait,
for a
Aaron,
second.
there's 3 different Gaimons though.
There are.
Are there
Are
actually?
any of them?
We
Are
were
any
gonna talk about music cards real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Go with that.
I remember when it's actually such a funny situation because back in the day when they came out, they actually they even looked better because most decks that were playing top end was like not distributed equally, and so lots of decks played top end that was outside of their archetype. Just because they were so much more powerful than what they were allowed to play,
And
so
there weren't
music events
searchers,
looked
too.
really good. Yeah, and there were less searchers. Yeah,
It's so weird to think about
Um,
that, like, there actually weren't that many searchers in the game that gave you enough consistency. Like, I remember, like, looking at, what was it, Animal Kingdom Pirates? And,
yeah,
like, purple look at purple. For the longest time, those decks were just playing random cards from just generically good purple engines, right? Like the queen
yeah,
was just like a card you would play. It was like just like a good 5 cost. You had to play Captain Kidd, like for sure 100%. And
yeah.
like it wasn't until like a little bit later on when Purple Straw Hats actually got like a searcher, I think that was
Yeah, the
remotely play
law.
like the law. Yeah, it was a law. And I think there was like maybe a couple more, but like most of the time it was just like you're drawing one card off of something, you would hopefully get enough value off of it or just see it that you could maybe make it work, but you didn't actually have searchers. Like a lot of purple decks just didn't have the actual tools to get there. So the music events were just a way of saying, hey, if you are looking for generic top end that's above a 4 cost, you get to have this. And then, sorry, and that's also why GP I think did so well during its time, was because it had just enough searchers in that deck that made the deck a lot more consistent,
Mhm.
right? Because you need to find the 5 cost. And it's like the first time I think in the game where like you could play like 12 searchers, right? Because like you had the Nami, you had the 1 cost event, and you had the Zorojuro, right?
Yeah,
And the
and
stage to draw 1 card. So it was like
yeah,
you were almost always gonna find that card regardless of how much you search. Most times, I want to say most times for sure.
yeah,
But that deck was just more consistent than any other deck in the format at that point, and that was, I think, the start of when decks became turbo consistent. Every single set, you need to have one kind of searcher or some kind of draw.
yeah.
Yeah,
At this point, like we're getting to the point where lots of decks are releasing with 2 or more searchers, which like never happened before.
I mean, most times
Yeah,
now I think it's like what I would look at like Black Yamato. That's one deck where like you got 2 searchers and you got like a discard 1, draw 2, right? So like
yeah,
all in the same set. So you're basically getting like a lot of search value just immediately because you have to, right? Like there's no way you can't play a deck that's like going to whiff on something now. If you're gonna
yeah.
whiff on
You
your
can't do it.
curve, then it's like there's no point in playing this because there's more consistent engines now. Like look at Anel too. Anel just has turbo consistent draw 1 off of every single interaction you have. Not really searches though. That's kind of weird. Except for the 6 cost, right? If you find 1 6 cost, you're in a good spot because you can
Yeah,
find whatever else you want to. Music events were meant to fill a void that filled a lot of early One Piece, right? Although it never actually did it.
yeah. They were
Most
too
times
inefficient.
decks were playing this if you were jank. Most jank decks were playing this card because you needed to find like
They
some
still
random
do,
top
I
end.
think.
Well, I look at Robin. Like I remember trying playing. I was playing Robin a lot during the EBO2 stuff because it was just so funny to play. Because you were playing like the Kaido Linlin engine, right? You're playing the Kaido Linlin with Basil Hawkins, this kind of
Kaido
stuff.
Linlin.
Oh,
And the thing
buddy.
was, the music events actually found all of the top end that you couldn't have found before, right? Because you were searching for Kaido Linlin. You need your Basil Hawkins on curve. Also, you could pitch the music events off of Nico Robin effect, like leader effect, to to ramp one. So
Mhm.
there was like enough like extra utility there that I thought, oh, maybe it is worth to play this card, but obviously didn't last long, and that deck wasn't good
Yeah,
in the first place, so there wasn't really a there's not even a competitive viable strategy during the time. It was just funny. Yeah, they were fun. Anything else for you guys that you have to?
Nothing on that. I just gotta dude. Purple Kaido's sick. I love Purple Kaido.
I think all of the decks outside of Linlin, all of the decks have very interesting sort of leader effects that are like they're kind of like I'm not gonna say generic, but they're so simple. But the way that the cards are coming out that play around it is very interesting. There's a lot you can do with them, and I think they're very interesting.
What do we have right now? We have Newgate, which is like again Newgate's super simple. Shanks is I think also fairly simple for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
simple.
Yeah, well,
It's
it's more like when you use it. I guess I think can be. You also always want to use it, but it's a matter of like when do you want to trash one card. Like some things like it. It's not hard to understand. I'm just saying more like
yeah.
it's not just like one line of text where I think other leaders have the same
Mhm.
problem. Still waiting on blue though.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the blue leader. Maybe that changes up how we view that.
Please
But
be something sick.
y'all good for Broken? Give it a try.
Yay!
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So far we have 2 colors we have not touched yet that I think would be kind of interesting to look at. And it's just which one do I want to do? Green or yellow first? What's the what color we want to see?
Green
Yellow.
or yellow? Yellow, yeah.
Okay.
Yellow, sad face.
Yeah.
Uh so this is like we'll go with this card then because I think it's a very non-yellow card in yellow. I mean it's for
Ooh,
specific strategy.
finally.
So we have a yellow Sabo. Start with this guy. 5 cost,
Sabodius?
7k power. Sabodius Johnson. Yep.
5.7K. Okay.
No counter. Type Revel Army, Leloucha Kingdom. Have to include that because Leloucha Kingdom
What?
very important.
Did he ever
Okay.
go there?
No, it never
No.
existed. No, it's not a real place.
Yeah. Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are we?
Where?
What are we doing?
Go where? Yeah.
Go where?
So this has rush and then on KO, play up to 1/5 cost Luffy or Ace from your trash.
And
It's
this
very
is
simple.
yellow army.
This reads like a red card.
This does read like a red card, actually. This reads like a. I mean,
Wait,
Matt, correct me if I'm. I think you made this for
yellow-
Bello Betty, right? Or you thought of Bello Betty a lot when you were making this, or no?
On KO,
That's
play
right.
up to 1/5 cost Luffy or Ace from your trash. I don't know, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I don't. I blanked on that part. I was literally just thinking about. Oh yeah, 5 cost Rev Army
I mean,
card playing a Tankov.
You could play
This
it, maybe.
this
I have no
card
idea.
seems pretty sick. This card
It
seems
does.
pretty sick. Is it
So
broken?
Goa.
It's meant for
Would
Goa,
I-
yeah. It's a Goa thing. Sorry, I was not trying to be it.
Yeah, it's a go.
I mean,
Come on.
here's what
Goa
I'll say
Kingdom.
about this.
I love
It's
Goa
competing-
Kingdom.
It's competing with the Secret Rare Luffy for the rusher slot.
I was
You
with
want
the
to have
Ace too, right? It's gonna be with the
yeah,
all
and the
Russian.
ace. Like the question
Lots
is
of
it
rushers
better than
happening.
the Luffy? I would say no.
Probably not. But the thing is, it has removal protection pretty much, which is
Yeah, it has
does something completely different. Because like if I don't know, maybe we're playing down the red Whitebeard Pirates, the 4-cost Ezo against red Newgate. Like
yeah.
you want this Sabo because if they turn their card sideways to kill your Sabo, like you can do stuff. It doesn't just die and then you lose everything, right? Which
Mhm.
is
I mean, this is
nice
basically
in
just
some
Sabo.
matchups. Yeah, this is good against like an L. Does a similar thing quite often. Gamma Knife, pop, or just generally is swinging at it. With
I actually
minus
would
power.
like to see this card. I think this is a great card.
I think
It's
it's
strong.
cool.
I don't think it's broken. I think
My-
this is
my-
actually.
I think for the deck, it's difficult because I don't think it's got a lot of overlap with cards that are already seeing play in that deck. So I wonder how it would go. But this is definitely not broken. This is far from broken.
No,
This is a
definitely
pretty
not broken. But I think that like it having a hogback-esque, not protection, but how do you say like it's warding them off from hitting your guy, like the opposite of persuasion, but like it's that. I don't know the word. You know the word,
I just say removal protection.
but it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like an ill incentive, basically. Like it says, don't hit my guys, otherwise I'll just get a different one back.
It gives your opponent a conundrum.
yeah.
Yes.
It gives them an
It's-
ultimatum, even. It
I'm
does
not
do-
I'm not putting Bradley back on the screen. We're keeping that off.
Dang
That was
it.
for last time.
Oh,
I
fine,
might
just
put
put the alt-
Tangent 2 on the screen though. Tangent 2 was kind of my goat.
102 is peak. Matt, if I send you Thriller Bark 2, can you put that on the screen?
Proposition.
No.
Can we do a
Maybe.
remake to the Browbeat podcast instead of the efficient rates? Just change it up.
Rest of the
I don't
episode
even,
is
hate, I
it's
don't even
Browbeat.
hate the Browbeat podcast, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a good card. Definitely not broken.
I definitely underrated Linlin in that video.
Yeah,
We didn't know though.
And I'm
To be fair though, we
regretting
didn't
it
know.
heavily.
We didn't know. I think it was just because the
Yeah,
life
they-
game became the better option of the two in
I
our
thought
minds.
it was gonna
That
play
it was,
worse. I thought it was gonna play worse than it did.
Mhm.
yeah, but I think if it was
It
just
reads
this
like
card,
it would
it's
play
not as
really
bad.
badly. It's just the cards. It's just the cards are so good. Yellow cards are just so good. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
its base package is so strong.
Yeah, but I say not broken on the Sabo for sure.
The one
But
thing with
good.
like the Saba for sure is like the fact that it's like most of the 5 costs in that suite are like blockers, and I thought that was kind of like, oh, that's all you get. It's only blockers. So it's like, oh, I'll try a rush that has like a different thing to do. Maybe it's a little bit because it's definitely I think better than the Ace Rusher, right? But like you are instead competing for the
Yes.
Luffy Rusher, so it's in this weird spot of like maybe you just need like you have a Sabo instead. It feels like a gap maybe for something. It keeps you advantage. It does things a little bit differently, but yeah, I didn't think it'd be broken. And obviously, Goa's not good anymore. Goa has completely lost its luster, and it saddens me. We're also losing it next block, which also makes me sad.
No, we are.
Yeah, I mean it's all block 2, buddy. All the Goas, the 2-cost
And
Goas are block 2.
You know what's
So
even worse than that, and is significantly
Goas.
like harder on the soul, is we're
Yeah.
losing Thriller Bark Stage and Anupe.
finally,
Yeah,
you can stop playing bad cards.
No, I'm still Matt,
That's
the deck is
so-
fun. You are such a hater. You're a meta slop hater.
On Thriller Bark stage. You know what? Actually, you know what's funny is
Mm.
I was talking shit on the Thriller Bark stage. I think in the last episode, like near the end, I'm like, no, Thriller Bark stage is like kind of middling.
Yeah.
I think every OP 15 list or OP 15 Western list that was playing Gecko Moria was playing it as like a 4 of, and I
Yeah, you know
completely
why, Matt? You know why, Matt? Because I'm a pioneer. I'm a pioneer. Okay? I know what I'm talking about.
I think you stole that from Liz. No, I'm kidding. You were always
I
in the
know,
Thriller
I
Bark stage.
love
That's true. Actually, they all stole it from you off of your insane
Oh,
Reddit post that was talking
dude,
about the bar
I
stage. Actually,
saw
the
I
goated
saw that
masterpiece.
Nightmare Luffy. I saw that Nightmare Luffy come in. I was like, hey, wait a minute. I can loop the hogback, the draw one on KO Mill 5, whatever hogback, and the Sindri to fill the trash.
No,
Play the
Hogback's
Nightmare Luffy
crazy.
on curve with 30 and trash. Bang, bang, boom.
All right, I'll go
Def-
next up then. I think.
Yeah, so what's the next card? Go on.
Do you want a 10 cost or 7 cost? We'll go with that.
10.
Ooh, 10. Yeah, 10.
Okay.
10's very fun.
This is Oh, you know what? We'll just go with it. Okay, yeah. So this is a green Zoro 10 cost with 12k power, no counter. It's a typing of Straw Hat Supernova between those two. And then on play, res up to one of your opponent's characters and give your leader 5 rested Dawn cards. Then select one of your opponent's characters and give minus 2,000 power, minus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. It's gonna be set
Say
to
it
0.
one more time. Say it one more time.
Okay.
Can you say
You know
it
what?
one more time?
Yeah, sure. So this is gonna be an on play. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters and give your leader 5 rested Dawn cards. Then select one of your opponent's characters and give minus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn.
I think this is bad. Till the end of next turn, maybe, but I think this is bad.
It's sorry, and it's a 10 for 12, no keywords.
Yeah, 10 for 12.
I think this is bad.
I think this is bad. Yeah, I'm with
I think
Will.
this is really bad. I think the
It
green
gets
chance,
5
the green
rested.
chance is just better.
This card is just bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like being able to swing, but like it makes your leader, like assuming you're a base 5, it makes your leader a 10, and then what you minus 2 something, and then you can go into it. But if it's a 12k, like you're going 10 into 10, so who cares? I know if you don't get the clear, it still has minus 2, but minus 2 is not impactful.
Mhm.
Basically, minus 2 pretty much will only matter if it's a 5k that you're targeting with it. It doesn't really defend you, and it's not worth putting 5 Dons on your leader. This card's terrible.
If it made you a 7k leader, I might have a different like tune about this. But the fact of like, if you play the
Honestly.
the old 10 cost Shanks that just gets you all your Dons back, you just can't play any more cards from hand.
Mhm.
That's just better.
Yeah, this is pretty much the old 10 cost Shanks,
But
like,
worse.
but
Well, it's
not
4,000
worse.
power worth of stuff worse, right?
Yeah,
Because like
it's different. I'm not gonna go ahead and say it's strictly worse, but there's because there
will.
was some usability for 10 cost Shanks in specific decks like red green. But yeah, this card is bad. This card is like terrible tier. I don't even think you would play this card if you had the option to.
So I will say, obviously, this is meant for this was supposed to be for Zoro in a way of just, you know what, you give your rest a character,
Oh no!
give
the
Zoro 5
slimy
Dons.
Zoro again.
Once again, giving Zoro just like the worst cards possible.
Wow.
See,
Larp.
the issue with this was like, I'm thinking to myself, this is before the Tengoku Shanks got revealed that gave it rush as well and everything, and it was the best Tengoku you had was the Law and Beppo in this color.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, like, obviously, it gives you like a way to swing just a little bit extra on this turn, makes Zoro a little bit more, a little bit bigger to deal with, like the board a bit more. But oh my god, I think Shanks is so good. Shanks, I think, just completely blows us out of the water. And like, there's a world like where like I think this is better than Shanks in the sense of like in Zoro maybe because it does rest a character still, so like it gives you something extra to do. But yeah, this could have just been like set like this could like include another keyword or include like maybe instead make it like the character goes to 0 power instead.
If this was a blocker, I would say it's perfect.
Maybe it'd be like maybe you could do
If
instead
you make
like
it-
give
you
minus
make
1,000
it
power
really
until
rough
to your
for it.
opponent's board maybe until the opponent's next turn maybe like that could maybe do something instead or minus 2 to
their
the board.
board?
Yeah, minus 2 to the
No, I
board
don't-
instead
I don't-
maybe.
Like a Krieg
I
effect.
still don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
If it made you like a what if it made you like a 7k leader as well?
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean
10
that'd be good
cost
something else.
for
Yeah.
Roger. No, okay, that's you don't think that's like maybe too good? 4k power differential
Honestly, not really.
and it's loopable.
Well,
I
it's
think-
only
I think
4k.
that-
It's 4k for that one character that you give it the
Well,
power.
no,
to
just for the board. For the board.
No. If it's only on the one, no. Like scrap the board part. Minus 2k to one character, but it makes you 7k leader on top of the whole like resting guy 5 Dons on leader.
I still don't think that's that good because the issue
No?
is like when you don't you're giving something minus power, so the intent is clearly that you want to like if it's not both turns, like I mean both turns is nice, it's definitely an improvement, but I think the idea is you're going to be typically targeting something that you're going to clear, especially with Zoro.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough minus power to outright kill most bodies. Like there's still gameplay there for your opponent. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play my 10 cost, and I really need to clear this guy, otherwise I die. And
Your
the 10
leader
cost is
does
committal.
swing
Like,
for 12 though because it's 7k plus 5 rested.
you said -2. It's like if your opponent is defending like a 10 or like a 12 or an 11, like
Maybe
it's
this could have
still.
been like set like an opponent's character to like 5,000 base power. Maybe that makes it more interesting, like into a 12, a 10 for 12 or something. You make it like
Would you have to add a cost to that though, like they did with the Linlin, like the discard? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
maybe I don't know. I mean, I think just in general this is kind of just bad. Like there's a thing was
10
mentally I'm
costs.
thinking to myself, do you just give this rush instead? And at that point though, it's like just the shanks, and it's like, is there really a point to that? It's like it's not like a cool, interesting idea behind it. So I think just in general this is just kind of bad.
It's also got the classic. I think this is from episode 1, or I think it was episode 1. Classic 10 cost that actually costs 10 problem.
That does nothing. Yeah, it's so bad.
Like,
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean this is
you do get the rested dawns. I will say, like, side note, you do get the rested dawns for the leader effect. It's not enough in the specific deck that you're thinking about it for.
yeah.
And I don't think it's much use in other green decks.
I think fundamentally you should change the entirety of this card, which is like the problem with this. So yeah, overall, basically a bust.
Yeah,
I think so.
broke or broken or bust.
Or I think it's more just broke. This is just
Yeah, it's pretty
just
broke.
broke.
He's quite
Broken.
poor. He's down on his
Very
luck.
poor.
They keep giving his sandwiches to Mihawk.
True.
You know, he's not living large.
Yeah, once again, Zoro gets nothing. That is the running trend, the running theme. Give Zoro
happy
0 good
because,
cards.
I'm happy though, because that deck was very, very fun to play against.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, so what's
You
next
are
on
in a
the docket?
weird.
No,
I like Zoro. I like Zoro during 12. I think that was a fun format, but we disagree on that one quite a bit.
I like Zoro during 12. I like Zoro during 12. I played it. It was great.
You're
not-
playing
I'm not
it, but that's
super
just
interested I'm not interested in getting into it because it's far in the past here. I don't really care anymore. I have no
Fair.
dog in this race. Like that's just my thought.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed 12 though. I think 12 was a fun format. After Plepper was
12 was a very good format if you were a green Odin player from 01.
See, you played bullshit though. You played Rosinante
Laughing at
and
me. It's laughing at me.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, man, that Rosemont deck was actually kind of sauce.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like,
fun.
It
That
was
was
so
funny.
cool. It
And that's
was
why I
so
thought you would have
cool.
liked 12 more, but you were just the anti-12
was-
advocate.
I mean, it's such a okay. I've already did the spiel. I don't know if I'm interested in doing the spiel again. That was a good matchup. Like you were like winning that matchup as Rosinante, but if they had restand, you auto lost. You could not win if they restood. There was
Right.
no way to beat it. It was brutal
Good times, man. Good times.
because they would just min swing at your Cavendish for 8. Like they played Tashigi, rest Cavendish, min swing 8 into the Cavendish. The reason why you were winning that matchup is because you block with your leader, and then they don't get to
Yeah.
restand or whatever. But if they restand with the event, then they just get to destroy you. They get to destroy
Yeah.
you. Your card economy is gone. You lost the guy. You lost everything.
And you're facing another swing because they get to then
And
activate their leader.
so, yeah. Anyways, that was a very, very coin flippy matchup for sure. Felt
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I mean, they had to find it, and Zoro had like good search power as well, which was again going back to the
Yeah, it had
GP
two
Loopy
searchers.
stuff.
Had
It had
had
two
good
good
searchers.
searchers, two really good searchers, Brona and Hiyori. Oh my god, more tap searchers. Oh my
Yeah.
god, what a time to
Yeah.
be alive. What a time.
It was great. And then the second OP13 hit, we were basically just already gone. People like to pretend there was a triangle matchup, but as the Zoro player, it felt pretty hard to win into either. So
Was it more like RP Roger was the
oh,
third?
no.
No, Zoro. Yeah, Roger was just in a. You had to.
Roger
you
was
were
in
you were
that comp.
coping.
But no, dude, I'm the strongest coper. I will make you believe my falsities. I mean, Roger was he was actually so far above the triangle. He was actually the tip of the pyramid. You know, the other three were fighting for the base, but
So
was
now I
much
believe
lower.
it. You're actually.
That's correct. That's insane.
Roger ramp high roll into optimal top end can never lose.
Mhm.
Wow.
I mean, that was true. I mean, that was correct. Back in 13, but that's we're not really playing 13
I
anymore.
would say it was good in 14 too.
I mean, I think Roger was still cope though in 14. 14 had so many things going on in it that like Roger was not like a blip on the radar.
See, Matt, I have to use my ultimate technique here and just say nuh-uh.
I mean, look, sorry, 14 had so many good leaders going around. Like Mihawk at its strongest was bad, so never mind. Actually, maybe it was actually topping.
Mihawk is such a
up there.
fraud, and no stats can convince me otherwise. I don't like every time I think I know what Mihawks are doing, I have some Joe Schmo say, "Oh, they're not actually doing that," and I'm like, "Okay, well then maybe what are they doing then?"
Quick question: when do we have Borsalino? When was Borsalino in the game?
15.
OP 15.
Was it 15/4? Oh my god.
15.
Oh, that's awful.
That I was a Vegapunk player,
Yeah, were.
which were.
Sorry, for the
Uh,
strongest coper of all time, you definitely didn't want to cope on that one until it was bad.
no, no, God, no, dude. I coped for so long on that deck.
You coped and it was good. It was good during EVO 2. That was a good time for Vegapunk. I
That
played
was
so much Vegapunk during
that
that
was a
time.
great time. That was a great time. But the problem was that when they said, "Yeah, no, Borsalino and that event, they're not working well together. We didn't realize that they would work so well in non-egghead decks. So we'll just pair ban the both of them." And then every Vegapunk player, all three of us, we all screamed. We're like, "No, please!"
Yeah, that was a really funny morning to wake up to.
I
Oh, yeah,
mean, you know
okay.
what though? It's like that shouldn't have happened. I still am on the
No, I
train
don't know
that
what
like
theirs. They
it
could have just
shouldn't.
banned Boris.
They should have just banned Boris. Like I don't think it should have been a pair ban. It should have just been you ban Boris. But the problem is you
Honestly,
can't
though,
do it that soon. You know,
if they really
it wasn't
wanted,
possible.
if they really wanted to be like super like in tune with it, they could have pair banned it with the leader UI Nami.
And
That doesn't
Hancock. Sorry,
solve.
and Hancock. Like they would have been.
And
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't solve the infinite problems that it will like. It's always going to be the best card in yellow. You're always going to play four
yeah,
of it in every single deck.
God, imagine how much
Banning
Linlin
it
would
in
play
Nami
it.
is just like pre-banning it in the deck that's like winning with it. But it
Actually, I
doesn't
guess
actually solve the problem.
And then the thing is
Linlin
though,
wouldn't
every
get
other
much
deck does
value
it
from it,
though.
though, right?
No, it
Linlin
does.
wouldn't probably wouldn't
No,
play
they
it.
still do.
No, because
Yeah,
because Boris
Linlin
only heals
absolutely
you.
plays it.
But I mean, Boris only heals you at what, 2 or less life?
Yeah, but who
Yeah.
cares? It's one. It's a
Is
1K
Linlin
counter 5 for 6. It's a body you can play. Like genuinely, you're just playing
I
this
guess
as a
that's
vanilla
true.
body sometimes.
Yeah, I get the thing. I
Like,
just think the cards. What's stupid is the cards on their own aren't bad. Like if they were like straight up bad cards, then it would be like more of a question. But it's like counter event plus 5 for 6 blocker that heals. You're not losing much to include it in your deck.
Like with Rayquazars we're talking about, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like Rayquaza being like, yeah, it's a conditional counter event, but it's like
the condition is
It
not
wasn't.
was not that hard.
not
Oh,
super
not at
hard
all. Zero
down to
zero
it.
chances of it being a
And there was actually
problem.
some upside too. Is it was a counter event that could target characters, which doesn't always
True.
happen.
Yeah, it was plus
And it
3
has typically those kind of cards that only targeted leader have like a second main effect, but instead this card has a good trigger, right? That's the
Yes,
idea.
which is sick.
Personally.
Assuming again, only in Vegapunk it's sick.
No, but it's so weird though, because like I feel like I didn't exactly play a lot during that portion specifically against it. Does that make sense? I feel like I never really played against Rayquaza or Borsalino.
Neither did I. I
Weirdly
basically
enough,
stopped
'cause no
playing.
people didn't really play it. I think on Sim as much. Or I didn't see it on Sim that much. Weirdly enough,
Oh,
maybe other people will disagree with that, but I swear to God, when they banned it, I'm like, oh, thank God they did it. But like, I didn't see it often, so I was very happy to kind of just like get by that wave of complete dominance. Because oh my God, I would have just you play against a Nami. Like people, I think would play against Nami or see Nami and just quit, or see
yeah.
Hancock and quit. Because man, when it happened to you, like you'd be livid. Like it was the most aggravating feeling in the world to say, oh yeah, Borsalino is somehow not a your turn on play, right?
Stupid.
Man,
Yeah,
So
that could have been a very easy solve. Actually, I didn't even realize. I forgot that they could do
Yep.
that. That would have been a very easy
And
solve to
the
this.
worst part is they've done it in Egghead before. Like it wouldn't be a shock to anyone. Like because the Lilith
yeah.
has it from the same set, no different set. That one is a
Yeah, and it's
Benvolent.
just like it's so easy. The issue is, I think they, I think this was just one of those. This was maybe one of the most obvious cases of Bandai had no idea. They did not realize this was going to happen. They didn't think about Rayquaza help. I think they probably just thought in their heads like, oh yeah, this card is not worth playing, so you probably won't see this combination in competitive play. And it did see play. And then you also pair it with the 2-cost Hiyori, which pretty
Yep.
much all these yellow decks were already playing.
Or if you're in
To
Hancock
make this
Gloriosa,
guaranteed.
you play Gloriosa just to
Yeah,
get on top.
Hancock can
Or
say
Yep,
8
yep,
of that
yep,
effect.
yep. And they did. Like during that time, they played like 6 to 8 of them. Like they would play 4 Hiyori plus 2 to 4 of the Gloriosa.
like
I
the
think
one
they
thing
would
is
switch
though, you can at least bounce it back with other cards they had that like Snake Dance or whatever those are playing. The one cost event too. What was the one cost?
Slave Arrow?
Slave Arrow, I think, yeah. Yeah, bounce back like the bounce like Glorious to the hand because again it's a 2 cost, so you're able to do that. So it's like you don't actually lose any value from putting Rayquaza on there. And then when Rayquaza comes out, you get a blocker. You basically get like a body with blocker that heals you 1. So you're technically up 1 card from that interaction.
Yeah.
So you're
And the
plus
body's
1.
big. The body's
Yeah.
also big. Like you can say like, oh, I'm not facing real pressure. Let's turn him sideways.
There's not dying though.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest one was like, oh, now there's no way I can get a win. And if you're playing against Hancock, it's like if you were at 0 life during that like interaction, you're basically dead next turn. Like you are dead. There was no
Yeah.
coming back from that stuff because like obviously having the access to the unblockable event and the 9-cost boa meant that like you're not stopping a 20k swing. Like it's
Yeah.
just not happening. Especially with the board of Borsalinos, it's just you're gonna lose the game, and it's like that was the feeling you had to go through every time was just like, please do not trigger this card. If you trigger Rayquaza, I lose the game, and like it always happened. It always happened.
But they could also make it happen like often.
They make it happen, or they could just like again they heal enough times too that like it was gonna happen eventually in most games, regardless. If you played enough during that time, you were gonna see it. You were just gonna see it.
Yeah.
Aaron, did you ever play against the combo? Like, did you ever go to a tournament and like have to actually fight against it?
I did not go to many during start of OP15. I think by the time I started going again, just because I was busy, like by the time I started going again, I think it was pair banned.
So I went to one when it was legal, and I actually fought it. It was a Nami, the deck that was playing it. And here's what I'll say: I won, but only because I was playing Gecko Moria. And that, I know that sounds like a haha, Will, nice one. Like I played a lot of 5 costs. I played a lot of 5 costs.
What does
Buffed
that
them
mean?
all.
Nice one.
What does that mean?
Listen, you just spam sevens. Look, moral of the story. I spammed a lot of sevens. They didn't see a Borsalino in time, and I was able to win. But I looked like flipped over the top card of the deck at the end, and it was a Borsalino. I could have seen it, but I'm actually such a good player. I never did.
What a skilled
This
player.
is legitimately just like the Rayquaza like Borsalino support group at this point. Because oh my god, I hate that card. I hate Borsalino with a passion.
Yeah.
Worst yellow design option of all time. And that's crazy. Like considering that like yellow has a lot of problems. It has a lot of
Yeah.
issues that they've made over the years, but
Yep.
actually not really over the years. Sorry, over the last like 5 sets maybe is like where yellow like has been at its most toxic completely. And I could go in a tangent on yellow on just how much I really hate how it's gone, and it gets worse and worse. Like the more that you look at like every new card that comes out, like there's always some extra problem that comes out and says, "Oh, now we just like we win games against like in the most unskillful way possible." I've lost games because I went like what a cost teach trigger into a random like Gecko Moria trigger into like I had some guy playing Anel and he had Onami. And he got Onami hit a 5 cost. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain about Onami trigger, but like I will complain a little bit about Onami trigger. It's like again, it's just random triggers. It never feels good. It feels like
Yeah.
you're losing. I was playing an aggro deck, right? So it's like I'm losing so much pressure off of losing a 5 cost that like I can't come back from this. It was an interaction that didn't feel like I was like, oh, you could have played like they could have played 5 cost Nami like to the board. You could have like had actual cards that play on the field that like have interaction gain something that like, oh, I don't feel as cheated from as someone just saying, oh, I hit a trigger, you lose the game now. And I feel like I've been encountering that more often as the game has gone on. So
I mean,
Yeah.
back when Bege was like the trigger to hit, that was rough.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Especially the teach trigger, which is the one that's been getting me the most recently. In the matchup against Teach, like I've been playing Ace this format, and in the matchup against Teach, it literally is a life or death situation. Because what happens is if he triggers a free kill on your Luffy, or just it doesn't even matter what card it kills, just on one of your characters on board, the problem is then when he goes to his 10 cost turns, you're never developed wide enough to stop him from completely shutting you out of the game on the Tendon guy. And if you're shut out of the game, obviously by Teach, you just lose, of course. And the
I love
difference maker is literally the one guy.
I love the nullify on the trigger saying, oh, actually, sorry, you nullify any character, then then KO any other character. It doesn't have to be the same
Yeah.
character. You can nullify the board protection character, like a Nola or like any of those ones, or like again in Ace's case, the Marco. You nullify the Marco so we can't protect your board, and then you just KO like the Luffy, or you KO the.
KO 5 cost Ace, 5 cost Izo if you're playing it Luffy.
I feel like you care less about 5 cost Ace, but like yeah, I think just in general, like it's more like the Luffy is the problem.
What?
You don't have the Luffy
Yeah, it's
to-
nice to get the on KO, but like I cannot stress this enough. Losing the one body for free is a game-losing proposition. Like you cannot come back
yeah.
from that, pretty much.
Yeah, yellow's fun, man. Yellow's a really good time.
I need to put 5 cost Izo in my deck for all the red ace players listening. I don't know what you guys like what the experience is, but there's so many Sengokus at my locals and Rosinante, and I don't know about Rosinante, but Izo is really good into Sengoku. And it's good to teach too if you have to go first. If you have to go first and you do find your Ezo, it makes the matchup potentially winnable. It's still very bad if you have to go first against Teach, but it actually helps you quite a lot. And I'm interested in playing it again.
I wish I could say that I've played against Sengoku's, but unfortunately, I have not.
I've lost Sengoku more than I thought I would. It's a good deck. It's not bad. It's better than I give it credit
it's
for.
for real. Yeah, it's pretty for real. It's just it's a little bit polarizing. There's some matchups like matchups where your opponent is going to develop like some good early defense. And especially like stuff like life gain, it can struggle into because when it goes card -3 and then turns its guide sideways, it can struggle to keep its board for a long period of time. And so if your opponent is just stalling, it will eventually like patter out.
You know what? I will say though, I want to kind of just towards the current format though a little bit because I think we're in such a weird spot right now because like Sengoku is a deck that like she doesn't even play at all. I think it's like kind of been out of the meta like a little bit because just like how jungly this format is right now. But there's a lot of decks you're going to be seeing. Just like if you're playing the game right now, you probably see a lot of Goofy, a lot of Nami still in the L's. Again, you'll see like the
Yep.
top decks like completely, but like even on Gum Gum, like just like a bunch of things right now that are just getting random wins that like I didn't expect to like come back into this. I thought it'd be like kind of more super Nami focused, super goofy, like kind of continuing from like the last set a lot more. Especially with N.L. being as good as it still is, hasn't really lost its touch. There's some decks that just have some cool stuff going on. Like the Rocinante I think is super interesting still. I like that deck a lot. Lucy's in fourth. Lucy's the fourth most represented deck currently. Last 2
I
weeks.
saw that. It's so stupid.
Lucy is that's a deck.
What is it
That
doing?
is a deck.
I don't know what it's doing still. I feel like this should not be. What's it good into? What is the
I'm not entirely sure.
Gum Sumo Slap?
Oh, are you seeing Sumo Slap? Yeah, it's the Goofy solve. It's the Goofy solve.
Is that what it is?
Obligatory Goofy solve.
So I was gonna say you can play this in Red Luffy, as a card to just get your the 4-cost Luffy online, but that's all I thought you could see it in. But that's so funny. That's so hilarious. And dumb and stupid. I don't know why they're playing this card. It's besides Luffy, obviously. I get it. I get why you're playing it, but like, oh my god, what a bad card. What tech pieces do to a man.
This is Lucy being another fraud deck. Yeah,
think,
like a lot of these decks, I think it's when the finals of a tournament end up being Lucy. That's just a Lucy win for the stat board, and that's kind of what happens sometimes.
I don't think Lucy
that means
is
that
like
Lucy had to get there
super
anyways.
fraud, but I will say Lucy is one of those decks that I think is going to have a very rough and sad time versus New Green.
Yeah.
10-cost Shanks is just like, oh yeah, you want to sit behind blockers the whole game? How about nobody?
Yeah, we're in
No
such a weird
way.
spot right now though. We're like we are so close to like the next format coming out. Like it's not enough. It's like 16 has felt like it just came, but it also feels like it's on its tail end for me at least. Where
Just like a month, a little bit.
Yeah, we got a month left, but we're getting the releases for 17, and that's usually where I start being like, oh, we're almost out of this format. We are done. Because I'm looking forward to the new stuff right now. I'm like so looking forward to the new meta in 17 and what that's gonna bring. Because I'm done with Goofy. I think I still enjoy Goofy as like a deck and what it brought to change up the game a bit more. You know, this against an L. I think having 2 costs in the game like do good things or be efficient is fun for me. I really enjoy that kind of game plan because there's enough like hate for it that like it doesn't feel as oppressive. I can't wait to see like what the new decks are gonna cook up and be scared at the same time because I'm not ready for Linlin. Linlin's not a deck I want to see or being played against.
Just please, for the love of God, Bandai, red card when attacking, draw 1. Please, that's all I want. Give it rush or something. Make it good.
And I saw you were looking to buy that Kobe.
I don't know. Should I Kobe is like right on the fringe of like maybe too expensive for me to pre-buy. Because also like Kobe is not a card that I'm super sure of. Like I pre-bought Utas for Red Ace at like a pretty decent price. I got a good deal on them, but like when they were at a pretty decent price, because I was so sure that they were going to be at least a 3 of. And I know some people are down on Uta. I don't get it. I don't understand the people who are up on Ace Sabo Luffy and then down on Uta. I find that I already have counter problems sometimes, and I think the searchability is the main thing for me. I also just don't feel like I play Ace Sabo Luffy on literally any board. It feels like completely terrible.
I think they're more on like Popper Beard still though. Like a lot of people are just doing Popper, and
I don't know.
I guess it helps with like certain.
I
don't know what
it.
it helps with though. I understand like why it's for that, but I don't really get Popper Beard as much in this format. Like, what do you actually get off that one though? Like, what do you actually get?
It's good into like teach matchups and stuff and UI Nami. That's like
Yeah,
the idea.
I
It's
guess you're
good.
trying to be.
I mean, it clears 10Ks instantly. Like if your opponent is like if you have to go first against Teach, um on 7 you play the new gate and then he goes Teach on 8, and then you go 8 cost Beard on 9 and -6 the Teach and then immediately kill it.
You know, I already forgot about the Acosta new gate. I already forgot about it because of the new one
Yeah.
for that deck. So
Yeah.
yeah, it does have some extra stuff coming out at the very least, and it does have occasionally you get to have the curve out go well for you. Oh my god, I'm kind of done with 16. I am a
I'm
little
having
bit
a lot of fun.
tired of this format.
I'm having a lot of fun with Red Ace. Red Ace has been such a it's a good one. My store recently hosted, I don't know if you two saw, a like a big prize pool. It's like a 1K prize pool tournament, and Red Ace was the winner of that.
Oh, it was. I didn't know the winner of that one.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to check the Discord. That's the guy's list.
Oh
That's
shit,
kinda
yeah,
cool.
that's
There's a
really
Red Ace.
sick. Sanji got the mule. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's pretty similar to what I'm running, truthfully. I think I'm regretting not buying 3-cost Sanjis when I went to card shows. I'm
Yeah, it
regretting that
was
very
a bit
badly.
important. Yeah, that's a cool card.
But they were so expensive. They're like $10 CAD per.
I mean, they're good
Come
though.
on.
Like the card's really good. It's in 10. It's not a card you're gonna find often. I don't know. It's rough. I mean, it's an SR as well too, right? It's an SR.
Yeah, SR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what you know what? Now that I'm looking at market values, I just want to check this Kobe before I yeah, it's like $20. Dog.
Yeah.
Dog. What do you think? You guys think it's gonna stick the list? I think
No,
probably
I
not.
don't think so. I
It
mean,
feels good now, but
I
it
wouldn't
feels good
pre-buy.
because it draws a card. But I would not. I'm not gonna pre-buy this one. I think maybe if I get a good deal on it, I'll pre-buy it. But I don't know.
I don't think you'll see enough new gates that will actually change whether Kobe's playable, unless like you just want like to have it for like future red releases. But I wouldn't buy it now.
Here's the thing: is like Kobe is like the obligatory 4 of in every unreleased red deck that doesn't have a full
Yeah.
set of cards. Every single red deck that doesn't have a full set of cards plays Kobe because it's just like I don't know, it does like everything.
It's like
Yeah.
you have like an 8-card slot of just like you're always playing Sanji, you're always playing Kobe because you just need to fill the slots, and it's like it's the only good generic option you
And
actually
it's just
have.
because red
so-
cards are so bad.
Yeah, it's the best you
Like,
got. Like I think they're good cards, but like yeah, no, it's just in comparison, it's
Yeah,
like
well, I
the
think
other
they're good
colors
cards because we're
staples.
luckily, I mean, just for a 4 for 5 specifically, we're living in an era where a 4 for 5 doesn't immediately die the moment you play it.
Yeah. But you know what?
Right.
You also look at like yellow too. It's like look at the yellow staples. What do you have, Nami? What do you have, Borsalino? So that's like an
Yeah.
automatic 8 of for Lilin right now, even though it's like I don't know if
You
it's
don't
like
even need the Borsalino, like Will mentioned. It's definitely a deck where you don't need Borsalino,
but
but
you
you
still
definitely
play
can
it.
do it.
You still play it though
Like
because it's yellow.
I
Yellow
saw
has to
people
play it.
playing the 6-cost Mika Robin over Borsalino just to hurt. Like
That one was so funny.
One, I think Burn is better in Linland than something like I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about Linland, but I don't think I got a chance to, or I forgot that like in the 8-cost slot with the Moria and the Teach, I genuinely think that there's maybe a reason to play 8-cost Kid in there instead. Just because I think the burn,
Yeah,
especially
probably.
trash burn, is so much more important than life gain. I think there's so many situations where you just do not care about that life at all.
Mhm.
You're basically playing it for the body and nothing else.
I will say,
Um,
I am very up on the ACOS. I think ACOS Kid is my favorite yellow card of
It's
all
one of my favorite
time,
yellow
probably.
cards, yeah.
I will say I have a yellow
Especially
video
in the
coming out
deck.
soon, so hopefully that one's going to talk about the kid a little bit. But yeah,
Love
I'm
hate vid
it's
incoming.
what's I'm gonna hate fit? No. I don't hate yellow. I hate the current design philosophy of like new yellow. I think that we can. I think yellow can be a color that is interesting. I think that this kind of burn, Kid Burn, was really good and it was healthy. It was the healthiest version of burn in the game where it was like in the middle of playable and not and like bad. You know what I mean? It's like of competitively viable and bad.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't like, oh yeah, it's broken viable. Oh, this is in every deck. It was like a 2 of in a lot of decks. It was like a 4 of in some that just need the top end. And it's like good enough. The thing is, the resting as a downside is such an actual. It gives your opponent interaction to play off the kid.
Yeah, it's a bad downside.
It's a bad downside, but it creates game states where it's like, oh, now my opponent can interact with what I'm doing. That's interesting. I like that game design philosophy that they haven't printed in a long time. But I really like the kid a lot. I think
It's
it's
just
super
like
cool.
how they often ban stages because they're so interactable and provide good advantage, but I don't think they view yellow life gain that same way, even though it like almost objectively is. It's incredibly difficult to interact with.
See, the one thing is I don't have an issue with life gain. You know what? Like, despite popular belief, I don't hate life gain. I dislike
I don't
life
hate
gain that
life
has
gain
zero
either. I hate
cost.
when it's too good.
When it
Yeah,
has
I think
zero
it's
cost and the fact that triggers are as toxic as possible. Like, they are more toxic than they've ever been, right? Because they used to be like, it was Bag Trigger was annoying and trigger bodies were also annoying. But the issue with trigger bodies was they had a cost before
yeah.
that
They
like
let you kill
were
you easily.
suitable. Because like the thing is
Yeah,
though,
you had to discard extra cards.
if I was playing Y Luffy and I triggered Jinbei, there were a lot of matches where like that was just bad. Like there were times where I had to think to myself, do I just want the 2K in hand instead? 'Cause, like, does that matter? And that's like that was like a 2K where I was like, okay, I don't hate that. I can think about this decision. Right? It just wasn't like obviously trigger bodies are good in general, and it's
Yeah.
annoying when it happens. But like old trigger bodies were like the not Kikinojo, but like the Cracker or like the
Satori.
old Big Mom stuffs were like, yeah, you had to discard a card to get the effect off. So it provided like you had to think about like, okay, is the added pressure I get off of this card worth going -2, and can my opponent like directly interact with this card the moment I play? Because if you're playing 7-cost Newgate, right, or you held up your entire Dawn suite, and you get to say, oh, actually I'll play Rayleigh, just kill your I'll kill your Satori. It didn't matter if you played it or not, right? So you actually lost more value if you played it. And decks that were like playing defensively would usually win over yellow, right? So it was like there was like a
Mhm.
bunch of downsides to actually playing the trigger bodies. Where now it's like even with Kikinojo, right? Kikinojo was one where like, oh, actually if you kill it, you actually still don't care. You actually are like up a life now because you had it out on the field. Man, yellow just sucks. I hate playing against yellow now. And Thriller Bark
Yeah.
Pirates are now. It's like Thriller Bark
Lin-
Slop or the new Linland
Clinton is
stuff.
so goofy. It's actually like, oh my, oh my god. I can't even describe how funny it is.
Yeah. No, it's just gotten a bit too toxic, and I think it's just if you change the way the triggers are played, and there's like either less trigger bodies or I wish triggers did something else, and that's why I like the trigger on the 3-cost pudding. I think that having it be a search
Yeah.
instead is like kind of more interesting than having it be a play this
Yeah, it
card.
provides flexibility without like being like a frustrating effect for you. I mean, I love
Yeah.
trigger search. Lots of
Yeah.
cards have it at this point. It's great. It's awesome. It's like, ooh, I can trade this card for maybe a better card. That's awesome.
I think that's
Like
fine design. But I can I just like real quick though.
it's rewarding, but it doesn't win you the game.
I kind of want to go back to the Nico Robin. The Nico Robin in that deck list
Yeah,
was
you should.
so funny. Do you know why that was played, Will? Why they were like in Linland, you were playing the Nico Robin?
I do not know.
Do you know what the trigger on the Nico Robin is?
I do not.
It is
This
a
is
trigger
awesome.
play up to 1 cost 3 or less yellow character from your hand.
What do you play?
The Pudding Buddy.
Winning.
Oh, come on.
So you can trigger this card, play Pudding from hand, and you go neutral then at that point, right?
Yeah. Also, like the burn on 6 Dawn is significantly better for what Linlin is trying to do than what it typically does on 6 Dawn, which is play like a Perona and then pass.
It's just utility. Like the thing was the trigger didn't actually matter before because there was no like good 3-cost yellow card
Yeah.
that you wanted to play on that kind of curve out. Is there anything like maybe you could play the
Actually,
Burgess
I
technically, but like,
guess
it's
I
just bad.
didn't
It wasn't good.
I didn't get into my point about the 3-cost pudding that I think I said yesterday that I have not shared on this cast, which is the idea like Thriller Bark synergy with pudding, because I know there's some yellow decks that exist out there that aren't really doing Thriller Bark stuff because they have some trouble getting Thriller Bark cards in their trash, and the pudding being generic, like no lock, is a very good way for decks that didn't have a way of putting Thriller Barks in their trash to put Thriller Barks in their trash, and then also help them find unsearchable cards like 5-cost Nami and 5-cost Borsellino at the same time. So like you're going to see decks that like I mean I don't know I don't really have a deck in mind in my head specifically that's going to change this way, but like decks that couldn't do Thriller Bark plus Bors plus Nami efficiently are now going to be able to do this more efficiently. They're going to take first. They're going to play Pudding on 3, trash a hog back, draw a Nami, and be able
I
to
can
do
think
the really
of
silly stuff more easily and more consistently.
Hancock. I think is probably one that you probably do more. Wide Luffy, Egghead Luffy is probably one that didn't really have that good of a way to discard.
This could be a nasty Egghead Luffy.
Yeah,
card,
probably because you weren't really playing for the Bark in this deck.
Sub Usopp 2K for like Kumesi 2K
No.
play or like something. Just sub one. I don't care.
Yeah, sorry.
Sub one of your
Maybe Jinbei. Sorry, I like the Usopp too much. I probably would be Usopp, but like I think the Usopp is so sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, are you really subbing the other two? But that's fine.
Maybe
Should
I don't know. Whatever. Just play 16. Just play 16 2Ks. I will
Yeah.
say, yo, I hate yellow. Yellow sucks. That can be the
I'm a little sad that this ended up being just the yellow sort of
Yellow hate
discussion.
podcast. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that.
I just wanted to be clear that 3-cost pudding is that good, and it's worth talking about this much.
It's way too
It's-
good.
I'm not gonna call for bans yet, but it's that good.
It's the best blue card I've ever seen in my life in yellow.
No, it's still less efficient than Galdino.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's
Galdino
fine.
gives you implied card advantage by stopping at 10k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
implied card advantage is actually kind of absurd.
that is a
It
little bit
is.
too true.
It
But
actually
I gotta say, thank you, boys. I really appreciate it once again.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Have a good
Pleasure.
one.